Babatunde Gbadamosi declares support for Peter Obi as he defects to Labour Party. Hey guys, this is still DJMTV Daily News Update. A chieftain of the People's Democratic Party and the stalwart in Lagos State, Babatunde Gbadamosi, has declared his undying support for the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, as he defects to the party. Babatunde Gbadamosi, who was a former governorship candidate under the African Democratic Party and a former Lagos State East senatorial candidate of the People's Democratic Party, made this known in the video we're about to watch. According to Babatunde Gbadamosi in the video, he said, "I hereby publicly declare my resignation from the People's Democratic Party and wish all the remaining members well." He also added, "By the same token, I also hereby publicly declare my support for the Labour Party presidential candidate Mr. Peter Obi and the vice presidential candidate Mr. Dati." Babatunde Gbadamosi also said that the best person for the presidential seat of Nigeria is no other person but Mr. Peter Obi. Let's watch the video. We'll be right back.
Attached no particular significance to the time I announced my defection. I mean, I'd been disillusioned with the goings on in the PDP, Lagos especially, and to some extent at the national level also, for quite a while now. And, issues like substituting names of duly elected delegates. Last time we witnessed any measure of progress in Lagos was during the Jakonde period. The last time we witnessed any measure of progress in Nigeria, at least a part of Nigeria, in Western Nigeria, was during the Awolowo administration of the pre-independence period, self-rule, I think it was called at the time, where we saw a lot of industrialization. We saw a free education program that was spread throughout the Southwest, what is now called the Southwest. We saw exponential growth in general progress across the country. All sorts of indices, we just kept going up and up and up. And it only all started falling apart, I think, from about 1962, when certain elements decided to interfere in the internal governance of Western Nigeria. And that portended very bad omens for the Federation of Nigeria as a whole. We need to get back to what Awolowo and co were doing back then. And the closest candidate that I can find that seems to be able to pull that off based on his personal record is, without a shadow of a doubt, Peter Obi. There is no time. There is no time, especially with the quagmire that Nigeria finds itself in now, the needless mountain of debt that we're sitting on. The insecurity, the divisions, the ethnic divisions, the religious divisions, all these things combine to make for an emergency situation. Undeclared, yes it is, but it is an emergency, whether we like it or not. The Nigerian constitution, as it were, clearly borrows heavily from the American presidential model. However, unfortunately, it doesn't take all of it. It takes only a little of it and then superimposes all sorts of Nigerianisms that have made that constitution completely and utterly unworkable. Now, that has led us to a point where politics has become a cash guzzler. And if we're going to go the American way, we might as well go the whole hog. We should have situations where candidates are actually sponsored and funded by the electorate, by supporters, and so on and so forth, rather than have a situation where a few extremely wealthy individuals who have become so wealthy because they somehow managed to corner state resources and have used the same state resources to protect themselves from prosecution. These people stay on top of the political game by spending public funds for their own personal ambitions. And anybody coming in from the outside simply cannot compete against these people because of the immense resources they command and because of the extent that they wouldn't mind going to hold on to power. Now, that leaves us with a very serious conundrum, because we keep saying we need to get out of this mess that we're in, but the people who orchestrated the mess in the first place are the most powerful people and the wealthiest people, literally, to all intents and purposes, in the land. The only way that they can be confronted is for everybody who feels concerned to put in as little as they can, as much as they can, into the campaign of anybody with whom they're pleased, with whom they're happy. And I'm happy to see that that's now actually happening with Peter Obi for the first time in Nigerian history. It's never happened before. Peter Obi was also a member of PDP, and he saw certain things. And I'm led to believe that some of the things that I'd been worrying about for years, he saw and made the decision that, no, I'm not going to be a part of this charade. I will move. Okay, and having given it serious thought, I thought, you know what? Let's get on this boat and row it and see whether we can use it to take Nigeria to where we want it to be. I am in complete alignment with the views of Ayo Adebanjo and many others of the Afenifere group, who said that Igbo Lokon, that given the support that the East gave Obasanjo in 1999, Abiola back then in 1993, that it's our turn as the honorable people that we are, Yorubas, to support an Igbo candidate. But fortuitously and fortunately enough for all of us, the one Igbo candidate that has come to prominence happens to be Peter Obi. In my opinion, he also happens to be the best candidate out there right now. Of all the major candidates that are on the ballot now, Peter Obi is the standout draft, as far as I'm concerned. That's the closest we've ever had in terms of principles, in terms of our approach to government funding, for government funds, public funds, in terms of his belief in education, in terms of his prudence. I think that's the closest person we've had in a long time to Obafemi Awolowo. And for that reason, I think that he can do the job. I also believe that because of the preponderance of young people that are supporting him, I think that there is a national will to change things. And that is key. It's one thing to be a great administrator, a prudent manager of resources. It's another thing to have the support that you need to achieve the kind of changes that you want to achieve. And I think that with Peter Obi, that support is already there, and it keeps growing every day. I mean, the quantum of support that he seems to be getting from northern Nigeria is just amazing. I can't get over it, but it's there.
Welcome back, guys. This is still DJMT Daily News Update. So here we have it from Gbadamosi Babatunde, who has just defected from the People's Democratic Party to the Labour Party, where they have the presidential candidate of Mr. Peter Obi, and he has also declared support for Mr. Peter Obi. According to Mr. Babatunde Gbadamosi, he said Mr. Peter Obi is the best candidate on the ballot as he stands, and Nigerians must do everything possible to support the candidacy of Mr. Peter Obi. So guys, what are your thoughts and comments? Do you agree with Mr. Babatunde Gbadamosi about what he said concerning Mr. Peter Obi, knowing fully where he has made the comment, I not give shishi to anybody, just as Mr. Peter Obi has always said? Do you believe in the candidacy of Mr. Peter Obi, and he as the best candidate that is on the ballot paper as the moment? So guys, what are your thoughts and comments? Share them with us in the comment section below.
DJ TV. Fulani people don't say no, they don't like us.
Welcome to DJMTV.
DJMTV. DJMTV. DJMTV. DJMTV.
Some of the delegates and ask the question.
DJMTV. DJMTV. DJMTV.